Hey everyone, what's
Hello.
going on?
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are back. Hi guys, I'm Lindsay. This is Maria, and we are Roomies Review the Movies, where we are two old college roommates that review movies that we missed in the past. I have a degree in film, and Maria has been doing reviews on film for the past 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are here today to do 1992's Mo Money. This stars Damon Wayans and Marlon Wayans and Stacey Dash back when she was claiming us. So
Right.
so so yes, this is a movie that I picked that I saw back in the day when it came out. And Maria has never seen this movie.
No, I
So
haven't. This is my first
yeah.
time.
So I've been trying to get this movie reviewed for God knows how long, but at the time it was free. Then it was time to watch it, and they snatched it from streaming, and you can only pay. So
Yeah.
that has been happening for the longest. But now, last time when we picked, it was free. And just as luck has it, first of the month, they snatched it again.
They sure did. Is I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
And I knew that was gonna happen. I was like, this is going to get snatched. So we need to hurry up and watch it before it gets snatched.
I'm like,
Which
why? What is going
yeah.
on?
I don't know what it is with Mo Money, but they play this game with it so many times. But yeah, but it actually is on sale right now on Amazon Prime. So
Yes.
yeah. So it was like what, $2?
Yeah, it's $3.99.
Yeah.
YouTube, Google Play, Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So yes, we are starting this film with with Marlon. Marlon is Seymour, and Damon is Johnny. They are brothers, and they are some schemers. That's all they do is they scheme and they plot like it comes secondhand to them,
They don't
which
want a job because the
they
job
do
is
not. They do not want a job at all. They have gotten in trouble a few times, but we start this off with them scheming this guy out of $300 for a 19-inch color TV. That's how old this movie is. Cause what? So
$300.
right, 19 inches. So like you can probably get like a 70-inch for $300 at this point, brand new out the box at Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so yeah. Um so they're running this scheme or whatnot. And Marlon, well, Seymour is taking this man to this raggedy Carter looking apartment building. And
The projects.
yes, definitely projects. And they're going up all these steps to get to this apartment. And just a little backstory, this was pretty much the height of In Living Color. So they did take a couple of the skits from In Living Color and make them movies. One of them was the Mo Money skit. Um Damon used to do the skit with Keenan, and it was it was really the Homeboy Shopping Network. And
Yeah.
then and then when they were talking about getting paid, they'll go more money, more money, more money. Right? So yeah, so they ended up turning it into a movie. But another skit that they did, that Damon did on In Living Color was he played this homeless crackhead.
Yeah.
That was so disgusting. It is so disgusting watching this skit. And they used this skit at the beginning of the movie. And when I watched it a couple weeks ago, I got so disgusted watching this movie. And I totally forgot about this beginning scene that I was eating And I was like, I cannot
What part was so
understand.
disgusting for you?
It's just the whole skit with Damon when he plays this homeless crackhead, because he does some disgusting things every time he does that skit. He does something disgusting.
What did he do?
It just, I remember one time he had a pickle juice jar, and he said, uh, ooh, he said it was his pee.
Oh my goodness, are you okay, Lizzie?
Oh God. It's always something disgusting he does. So just like the sight of him is disgusting for me. It's ugh, it's horrible. But yeah.
Get that gag reflex going.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So yeah. Yeah. I was just like, I can't finish eating. Like I had a sandwich wrap and I was just like,
Oh,
yeah. It was really bad. So yeah. Um I mean, and then he plays it very well. Like he moves all around erratically, and he has on dirty clothes, and then he starts doing he starts doing drugs in front of the guy. Like he starts shooting up. And so the guy is really upset, because he's excuse me, he's just trying to get right, he's just trying to get his TV and get up out of there. And Seymour already got his money or whatnot, and Seymour like went to the back. And when he went to the back, that's when Johnny starts shooting up, and he starts ODing. And so he didn't fell out and all this kind of stuff. So now the dude is really like, WTF, I need to get up out of here. And so that's when Seymour comes back with the box, and he's like, oh my God, he's ODing, get some help, blah, blah. And the dude's like, forget this. He grabs the box and he's up out of here. So when he grabs the box and he's up out of there, he ends up falling down the stairs. And so when he fell down the stairs, that's when the box opens. And the box opens and it has all this foam confetti. And then he sees that it's like 2 bricks in there.
Yeah, some bricks, some rocks, whatever. Like,
yeah, he is pissed. So now there's police outside just randomly. So he tells the police. So the police, they start coming in the building and they're running upstairs. So now the police are coming. So now they got to go out the fire escape. So they go down the fire escape and they run, and they are gone. And they ended up splitting up, and what's his name, Johnny, he gets up under a bus, and he holds on up under the bus to a certain point. Then he gets off, gets on the subway, and then he jumps the turnpike at the subway, and he hurries up and gets onto the train, and and he closes, like he gets on the train as the train's closing the door, so he thinks that he's scot-free. But there is security on the train that catches him, so he goes to jail. So when he goes to jail or whatnot, he's in a holding cell with a bunch of people, and they're the typical stereotypical people that will be in a holding cell. Then he gets into it with like this guy who's homoerotic, but he's like a macho man as well. So it's like the dude comes up on him from behind, and he's like, what are you doing? Then the dude is like, he asked him to get him something.
He said, give me a cigarette.
Yeah, cigarette. He was like, I don't have one. So then he punches him in the face, and he was like, that ain't what you
I don't smoke.
Right. And he was just like, that ain't what you're supposed to say to me. You're supposed to say, I'll get you one or something.
Yeah.
And so he ends up, hitting him in the groin and then punching him in the face. And then when the dude finally gets back up to fight him, that's when his name is called and he gets up out the cell.
He conveniently gets to leave.
Yes. So he goes into a room where he talks to Seymour. Seymour tells him, hey, I got you a lawyer. I got you the best lawyer in the city for the money.
Well, he's like, who's like, what does he say? Is he any good? What's my name?
What's my name?
Is he any good? What's my name? Yeah, he's good for the money.
Yeah, he's good for the money. So this guy, this lawyer. So they go to the court date or whatnot. And this lawyer is pretty much like a reverend who moonlights as a lawyer.
He's somebody who moonlights as a reverend, who moonlights as a lawyer, who moonlights as somebody who read a thesaurus once.
Yes, all the above, right? So he is pretty much trying to give a sermon in the courtroom. And everybody's looking at him all types of crazy because what are you doing, sir? Like, what are you doing? And
words he's using don't make any sense together. It's just nonsensical. He's doing the, the very much, what was that, that big animated bird with the southern accent?
Who?
Oh, some Looney Tunes character. This bird, he used to have this big southern accent or whatever.
Oh.
It's like the same accent from the detective movies that they're using now.
Yeah, I don't know that character. So yeah, but they like he's the stereotypical reverend, the one that wants to sing every time he says something and breathe all heavy and wipe his forehead and all that. Like he's doing all the stereotypical reverend things that we laugh at. And the judge is just like, WTF. Anywho, I told you, Johnny, that the next time you come in front of me, I was going to send you away. But since you so inadequately represented, case dismissed. Like, he was so over it. And then he told the guy, like, don't you ever come in my courtroom again. But
and
then
the thing about the thing for Johnny about me that kills me is he's given all these chances. And every single time he chooses crime.
Yes, he chooses crime. And then this is the killer part that we end up finding out is that Seymour and Johnny's father was a cop, a decorated one at that. So it's like, what? Like, how do you choose scamming as a profession and constantly getting in trouble? But your dad was a decorated cop and you hold him on a high pedestal. You know, everybody holds him on a high pedestal, actually.
It doesn't make sense. Like,
yeah.
You hold him on a high pedestal or are you rebellious? Because it can't be both.
Yeah. Or maybe you hold him at such a high regard that it's very intimidating to walk in his steps. So you just do the opposite. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that you could have done that was opposite of crime. But
that were just not crime.
Yeah.
Between being a cop and a criminal, there's lots of other choices to make.
Right. It really is. It really is. But yeah. So their father's ex-partner, still looks out for them. And particularly Johnny. Because Johnny's so much in the system. And so he tries to talk to him and tries to level with him and whatnot. And he's not getting through. And apparently he's been doing this and he's continuously is not getting through to him that, you need to do something with your life. Yeah. You know, you're on probation for one, and you still keep getting in trouble and you're not going anywhere with your life. And then your father was such a hero that what you're doing is not honoring him by these decisions.
You're coasting on his goodwill.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, talking about his father in that manner kind of like turns him off. So he pretty much walks away from his father's ex-partner, and the ex-partner is still trying to talk to him while Johnny is walking away from him. Another thing that's going on that we do see, which actually is the first thing, we do see this guy who's a carrier. He is driving because he's taking some briefcase to a place, and he ends up getting into a really bad car wreck that was on purpose, and he ends up dying. Well, he ends up getting killed because he didn't die from the car wreck. And when the people came that caused the car wreck to get the briefcase that was in the car, they saw that he was still alive, so they went on ahead and killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have the whole thing with Johnny and Seymour, and then we also have this crime that we see that's completely organized. And then the next thing we know, we see after Johnny gets off and was talking to the cop that's looking out for him and whatnot, we see Johnny and Seymour. They're out on the street trying to sell books. So now this is their next.
Like, why is this the hustle? I don't know.
It was such a random hustle.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was such a random hustle. They're selling children's books on top of that.
$2.
For $2. And so,
and it's not like you're outside somewhere children might be.
No, they're in the business district.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can make sense of that is that, like, a bunch of people that are in corporate America have kids. So they see them on their lunch break. They're like, hey, maybe I can buy this for my kid.
I guess.
I mean, yeah.
And $2?
And $2.
$5 at least.
Yeah. Even back then, yeah, I would have done 5 over 2. But hey. So yeah.
Now we don't have to worry about giving change.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. And we we have them selling the books or whatnot. Seymour is over it. He's like, I'm trying to get paid. I'm not trying to do this because nobody's buying the books. Yeah. So he is over it. He walks away. He goes and gets a cardboard table that he makes, and he plays 3-card Monte. So people are drawn to the 3-card Monte for obvious reasons. And so while they're doing that, Johnny is still trying to sell the books. Then he gets upset, throws the book, and he walks away. So when he throws the book obviously lands on the floor, and this lady picks it up, and she wants to purchase the book. So when he turns around, he sees that that person is Stacey Dash's character, which is Amber. So they have a cute little back and forth, and he ends up selling it to her for the $2. And
a really good book, you should read it.
Right. So after they have their cute little banter or whatnot, she walks over with the book, obviously, to the 3-card Monte table. And Johnny follows her, and she goes on ahead and plays. Oh, yeah. We'll get to that in a moment. So he follows her over to the table, and he helps her win. And so she ended up winning, and she ended up taking pretty much his money, Seymour's money. And Seymour's visibly upset because he was gonna come up, he was gonna scam, he was gonna plot, and Johnny knew it, but Johnny's trying to get with old girl, so yeah.
He also doesn't really want him doing this either.
That part. So he wants better for Seymour, but he's a horrible example. So yeah. So he ends up following Amber into her job, and he ends up applying for a job. And when he applies for the job,
he follows Amber into her job. She gets on the elevator. He follows her elevator up every stop he thinks is going to be on to continue to talk to her until the 4th stop or whatever, and she gets off, and then he follows her into that office.
Yeah, he did a lot. He did a lot. And like the elevator is full. So the people are seeing what's going on. And they think it's cute. They think it's the cutest thing ever. But it's a bit much. It's a bit much. Especially because like I don't know you.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
Now you know where I work?
Right. Right. Like, dang, I gave you your $2. Like, get away. So yeah, so she goes into her job and whatnot. He ends up applying for a job with the company. He goes on an interview. He gets the job. Um, yeah. So when so he has the interview or whatnot, and when he's waiting on the job to call him or whatnot, mind you, this is 92. Hardly anybody has a cell phone back then, and a lot of people don't have landlines in their residence, so they use a payphone. And so like there's other people that uses the payphone, of course, but they're like having like full-fledged conversations on the payphone, and he's just sitting there like, oh, she needs to get off the phone, blah blah blah. So lady finally gets off the phone. He tells another person the phone is out of order, and so he's standing there waiting, and
they just can't help.
they can't help themselves. Right. They can't help themselves, and they go and do another scheme. And this scheme is to try to steal money from a cab driver. However, in the middle of the scheme, the phone rings. So he has to leave the scheme to run over to the payphone, and he ends up getting the job. So he goes to work, and
which is great because hopefully they will stop terrorizing that little corner store when they went in there to get free food.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're gonna be a scammer, you gotta know who to scam. You don't scam the corner store.
Right. Right. You don't scam people who you will see on a regular basis.
Exactly.
You know, but hey. So so he goes into the his first day on the job. Everybody's nice. The supervisor is nice. Supervisor is this guy who he seems real chill, but he also seems a bit timid as well.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what was that guy's name? Chris. His name is Chris. So so yeah. So you know, Chris seems like a cool guy, but like I said, he seems a bit timid. So then Chris' supervisor comes, which is Keith. And so Keith seems, on surface, he seems pretty cool. And then he asks to speak to Chris. And they're speaking about a scheme that they're doing with the company. So the company is a credit card company. And the job that Johnny got was in a mailroom.
Mm-hmm.
So they're handling the mail that comes back in because the credit cards, the way they go out, they're already approved and they're already activated. So if people change their mind, right?
You do that?
It's crazy. So if they change their mind and whatnot, they send them back. So when they send them back, that's when, because they're supposed to destroy the card before they send them back, by cutting them in half and whatnot. Which, okay, but some people don't. And so, Chris is telling Johnny all of this, and while Chris is telling Johnny all of this, he's, he's soaking it in, and so the wheels are turning in his head,
New scam.
Yeah.
Sure. Scam. I just got, my last chance off of my last chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I, got this job and everything to like impress this girl. But
yeah.
What if I did crime?
Right. And this is a great opportunity that he is foregoing for crime. So, yeah. So, excuse me. So, yeah. we have Marlon watching. He says, "Hey, Roomies, hey."
Hey.
So yeah, so we have him, the wheels turning in his head that he's gonna go ahead and steal one of these already activated cards when they come in. And so, and then unbeknownst to him, that there's another scheme that's going on. And when Keith pulls Chris to the side, they go into a bathroom, and it feels like Chris is wanting to back out, but he's too far gone. And Keith is telling him, pretty much like there's no backing out of this. And if you try, yes. And he's just like, if you try, you will die. In nicer words, of course. But
much nicer.
Yeah. But scares the shit out of Chris. Almost literally. So
because Johnny hears him. He's like, are you constipated, man? What's going on?
Right. Because after Keith leaves, like Chris just starts weeping in the stall. So yeah. Johnny heard him or whatnot. And so of course he had to kind of play it off or what have you. But yeah, it was very intimidating for Chris. So to say the least. So we have him going back into there, still the wheels are turning and what have you. Also, the cop that was Johnny's father's partner is also investigating the death that we saw. Mm-hmm. And that is Lieutenant Raymond. And so he's up there at the credit card company. Because he's putting two and two together and whatnot. And, he's talking to executives on how things work and what have you. And the executive, that he's talking to is Tom, who is played by Harry Lennox, who we remember as Dresser from the 5 Heartbeats.
Yeah.
So he's talking to him. And he's telling him, how things operate, the computer, how it picks people to be approved and all this kind of stuff. And like Lieutenant Raymond is acting dumb, because he's pretty much wanting to act like a dumb cop so he can get all the information out of him.
Yeah.
And so, he gets as much information as, Tom provides and whatnot. And Tom is like one of those elite blacks that thinks they're better than the average black person.
No, he hates black people.
Yes. And
I don't know how he and Amber ever got together, to be honest.
Because you would think he would be with a white woman as much as he hates black people, but
or maybe Stacey Dash today.
That part. So probably in real life he despises her, but yeah. That we're digressing. So yeah. So we have them conversing and whatnot, and he's learning things about the credit card industry and what have you. And so then he finds out that Johnny is working there, and which is a good thing and whatnot. Then at the end of the day, we see Amber, leaving and what have you. And then Johnny runs into her and she's like, okay, why are you here at my job? And he's like, I work here now. So not weird at all, right?
Johnny's a stalker.
So, right. Okay. So they're outside and they're talking, and that's when Tom pulls up and is like, Amber, we have to go. And she's trying to end the conversation.
I was like, right. Oh no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's just temporary,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll be here when y'all are done or whatever. Like,
right. It's about to be over anyway. So,
sir, you just got a job in the mailroom, please.
In the mailroom, like
today. You have not even been paid yet.
Yeah, dude. And she's like a higher level. So, but all right, sure.
He's like, I gotta get my life together. Yeah, you could start by not doing crime.
That's first and foremost. First and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, them we have them conversing, and Tom pulls up being rude, telling her to get in the car. So she eventually gets in the car. Um and he's like, who is that? Who are you talking to? And she was just like, he's in the mailroom, whatever. So he's not like, you're tripping. So yeah. Then we have him coming in the next day. He ends up coming to her office the next day, and they're having a conversation. Tom comes in, but there was some stuff that needed to be delivered, so he acted like he was from that department to come and get the stuff that needed to be delivered. So he's Tom has really got his antennas up now, because he's like, I keep seeing this dude around my woman. What's going on? So Amber and Tom, they end up going out to eat. And when they go out to eat, Seymour and Johnny, they go out to eat at the same place as well. And so they're having a conversation, and he ends up telling Amber a joke, which was a racist joke. He thought it was just hilarious.
It was very racist.
Yeah, it was extremely racist. Um,
and that's after he tells. It's after they're talking something about some classical music, something. And she was like, "Why can't we ever do something I want to do?" He's like, "What you want to do has no cultural value."
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to get you to listen to more than just rap music, because he's trying to take it to the opera.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, it goes to opera.
Yeah. So.
Like, you were just awful. What?
Yeah, extremely. And so, Johnny and Seymour are seated at a table that's behind Tom's back. And when he's seated behind Tom's back, he's mocking Tom. Tom has no idea that they're there. And he tells this joke and thought it was so funny and whatnot. But Amber, she's laughing at Johnny because Johnny's mocking Tom. And she continuously laughs. And he's like, the joke wasn't that funny. And so,
come on, man.
Right. And so then it's when he realizes what she's laughing at. So he goes and makes a scene with Johnny and Seymour. And so Johnny and Seymour end up leaving. And so then the next thing you know, we see Johnny at work, and he ends up going ahead and stealing one of the credit cards that was returned. Yeah. So here we go.
Crime again.
Yes. So he takes Seymour with him on a scheme that they do at a jewelry store.
Oh, yeah.
And so they act like two gay men at the jewelry store that have a code and they're engaged. And
They're so funny.
It is very funny, but it will work 10 times more if you acknowledge the climate that 1992 is in, with gay men and sneezing and shit like that. So it's like, yeah, this would most definitely work. Now, if you put it in 2025, if you see somebody sneeze, you're going to think COVID first.
Right, yeah.
So it could still work in 2025, but yeah.
It was different context.
It was a totally different context back then. So
yeah, but that was also two characters they played on
In Living Color. Exactly.
Doing the movie reviews.
Yes. It was Damon and David Alec Greer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, so they played this role, and they are sneezing all over the place, and yeah, the shit was funny, and they end up getting what they wanted, and the card got approved and whatnot, and so they leave. Seymour's under the impression that they got that to go sell it on the street. And Damon's like, yeah, no, not Damon, but Johnny's like, yeah, no.
And he was like, let's sell it for $100. I was like, huh?
Right. He was like,
Wasn't
that's
it
crackhead.
$3,000?
Yeah, it was $3,000 and he trying to sell it for 200. And he was like, that's crackhead money. Like, yeah, no. Which he was right. It was definitely crackhead money. But he's like, I'm keeping this. And so Seymour is like, what? You keeping that for that girl? Like, you don't even know that girl. Like,
Yeah, the whole rest of the movie, Seymour's like, well, why you like that girl, man? Leave
right.
that girl.
I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah.
So
she's got cooties. Like, it's
right.
very how it sounds.
Right. So then he convinces him, like, hey, because Johnny was just like, yeah, this is a one-time thing, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, well, if it's a one-time thing, let's just make it a one-day thing. Let me get a coat. Let me get a leather jacket. And he was like, all right, a leather jacket. Oh, and a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And a hat. Okay, and some socks. And then this. And
there's
then
some mink socks.
Right. So he ends up giving in. They pretty much go on a whole shopping spree. Mm-hmm. All on the company. So when they did that and whatnot, we see a montage of them getting all these kinds of things and whatnot. And after they get all these kinds of things, then we see them in a limo. And they are kicking it, kicking it all on this card. Mm-hmm. They're going out to eat. They're doing all kinds of stuff. So
scamming
left and right. And so they end up, Johnny ends up going back to work like normal. But then Chris, before he goes back to work, excuse me, Chris is going home from a normal days of work, right? He ends up getting caught up by a couple of people while he's trying to take the subway and what have you. And they end up killing Chris.
They wait until he's about to take a bite of his sandwich.
Yeah.
Surprise. I'm like, why?
Right. He could have at least finished the sandwich. But yeah, they rough him up first, and then it looks like yeah, and they got him going with them because it looks like they're about to take him somewhere. But right before they get on the subway to take him somewhere, that's when they stab him in the back a few times.
The kidneys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad because Chris looked like he just was in over his head, and he probably got caught up doing something he wasn't supposed to.
He just didn't want to do it anymore. That's all it was.
Yeah, right. But I'm talking about how he even got in it in the first place.
Oh, he
doesn't look like the type of person that would do crime.
But, and then also, Keith is a bully, so
that part. So yeah, he died. So the next day when Johnny goes into work, he's like, what y'all standing around for? Like somebody died. That's and that's when he found out that Chris died. But right before he found out that Chris died, that's when Keith had pulled him to the side and told him, yeah, I got you with all these credit card purchases. Right. I got you with all these credit card purchases. Johnny's trying to deny it. And he's like, okay, but I also got you on camera still in the card. And he's still trying to backpedal out of it. But he's like, yeah, no. Then he's like, okay, so what you going to do? Fire me? He was like, no, I'm not going to fire you. But I knew you was going to mess up eventually. Mm-hmm. That's why I hired you. Because I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And he was like, and if I don't? He was like, if you don't, you're going to go to jail. I'm going to call the police.
You're on parole. So
yeah, you're on parole. So I'm going to need you to go ahead and get these credit cards for me. So he gave him a list of credit cards he needed him to pull. So he, after that conversation or whatnot, that's when he finds out that Chris died. And so while everybody's in the morning, Keith comes in and he tells him, He tells everybody, we just had unfortunate news about Chris, but because of Chris being gone now, Johnny is going to take his place. So Johnny got promoted.
Be the number one guy.
Yeah. So Johnny got promoted to being the supervisor. So now it looks like the wheels are turning in his head that this is the reason why Chris is dead.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he kind of got to do it. And he goes on ahead and he gets the numbers or the cards for him and whatnot. And so he had to meet Keith at a particular spot outside of the business. And so when he met him at that spot, he gave him the cards. He thought that was it. And Keith was like, yeah, no, it's not it. I'm gonna need you to, be on the team. And he starts, walking around the warehouse and whatnot, and he sees that it's a whole operation going on. This is just a small bit of it.
Yeah.
And
part of a syndicate.
Yeah. So he sees that and he's just like, yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot going on. So he tells him, Keith tells him, like, I'm gonna need you to do some more. And so he reluctantly agrees. And then we also see that Amber and Tom are at their end of their relationship. Darn. Sad. So sad. So they end up breaking up. And then we see a scene where Amber is at home. And she believes that the person knocking on her door is Tom trying to get back with her. And so she's like, no, why are you here? Get away, blah, blah, blah. She's not opening the door at this point. And he's just saying, talking to her through the door. It's like, come on, Amber, open up. We need a Tom, blah, blah, blah. It's not working. So then he tries to tell her a joke. And
I'm here, I'm listening. I'm like, this doesn't really sound like him that much. Like, what's going on? Yeah.
Right. So, and that's when the wheels start turning in her head.
Right?
Right. That's when the wheels start turning in her head that maybe this ain't Tom. So he tells the joke, and the joke is self-deprecating if it was Tom. So that's when she realizes, like, yeah, no, this ain't Tom.
Right.
And so she opens the door, and of course it's not Tom, it's Johnny. Which is like the same question that the audience had, Amber had. How did you find out where I stayed? And we don't really get a straight answer from him on that.
He's a stalker.
Right.
Okay. It is not romantic.
It's weird. It's very weird. Very weird.
You followed me off the street one day, got a job at my place, and now you're at my home?
Yeah.
I don't know you.
I don't know you at all. I've had 2-minute conversations with you. I don't know you, sir. But for the sake of the movie, it works. And he's like, I got you something. He pulls out this jewelry box, or it looks like a ring box.
Yeah.
And he opens it and there's nothing in it. And so she's like, where's it at? As soon as she asks that, he kisses her. And they kiss. Yeah.
And it's romance because he stopped her and gave her nothing.
Right. No, not a sandwich, not a drink, nothing. But now they're okay. And they're together now.
Yay.
Yes. So yeah.
We also have to talk about the other woman.
Oh, that works in the that works for Johnny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So her name is Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Charlotte is, and I saw your post on Blue Sky. You thought it was
Mhm.
the lady from White Men Can't Jump.
I do.
Yeah, like there's two different people. So yeah, but Charlotte, she's very intense. She's very intense. She was trying to kind of get with Johnny. Of course, it didn't work. Um, and
Well, she plays a particular role that I see a lot of time dark skinned women playing that I really don't like. And it's just them being supposedly sexually aggressive. And it's just supposed to be disgusting for some reason.
yeah,
So I've seen she did that. And then, like, Leslie Jones, when she first came on the scene, that's like what a lot of her comedy was.
yeah.
And I'm like, why is it supposed to be funny?
I don't know. I don't know why it's supposed to be funny, but those were the roles that they thought.
Yeah.
They thought that was okay.
But I just thought it was interesting how they're kind of critiquing like this light skinned career man, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
with his kind of internalized anti-blackness,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time making her this kind of stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Also a product of internalized anti-blackness.
Right. Right. So they're like proving a point with Tom, but showing the bias with Charlotte.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying. And looking at it in 2025, yes, it does stand out. But in 92, I don't know. They just thought it was comedy back then and thought it was okay.
I just thought I was like, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, but you're absolutely correct. Like Leslie Jones, she pretty much played that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we do have Dee Dee watching. Dee Dee says my babysitter let me and my brother watch this movie when we were too young. Yeah, when I watched it the first time, I was too young too. Yeah. So yeah, Leslie is playing that. Not Leslie. Charlotte. Charlotte is playing that role and then they're like that role also has them being very aggressive when it comes to the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
And which she's very intense.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not feeling her at all. Well, Johnny obviously has his eyes on Amber, but uh yeah, they kind of did her scandalous in this movie.
Yeah. We're sleeps with her.
Yeah.
And then literally kicks her out with $2 for the train.
Yeah. Right. Got her. Oh, well, we'll get there in a second. So, so we have this whole montage of Johnny and Amber's relationship, how they're, growing very intense. He's like whining and dining her and stuff like that. And so he feels like that's what he has to do to keep her, because when they got into it a while back, when Tom was still in the picture, Tom had said, I don't know why I'm tripping because he can't afford you.
Right.
So that kind of like stuck in Johnny's head, and it's pretty much what he's doing to try to keep her is wine and dining her. And that's kind of, you can take that a couple of ways. Like, hey, he's really going out of his way. But then you can also be like, okay, I know how much you make, so where are you getting this extra money from?
Exactly.
And you don't have to do this. Like, I'm not that shallow. So, there's a particular instance where Amber comes over, and Amber and Johnny are about to go out dancing, and they ask Seymour to go. Seymour initially doesn't want to go, but he ends up going because Johnny told Seymour that Amber has a sister that looks just like her. So he's like, bet, let me get dressed. So they
And yeah, he
go,
was pouting before that. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
You're just gonna leave me, and you always going out with her. I'm alone. Oh my god.
right. Like, we don't do nothing anymore, blah, blah, blah.
Do you
So,
have a friend?
not one.
Mm.
So, at least that's what it seemed like. So, Johnny, you know, tells him, that she has a sister that looks like her or whatnot, and which is a lie. Not only does she not have a sister, but the girl, is not even related to her. Like, and it's Charlotte. And so
And they look nothing alike.
they look nothing like. And so
Every word of that was a lie.
every part of it. So um yeah. So Seymour is just like, yeah, this is some bull. I can't believe I let you scheme me, this, that, and the third. And he's still, entertaining it, but he's being ornery in the same breath or whatnot. Now, I did not notice until I watched it recently that the bouncer at the door was Bernie Mac.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, there go Bernie Mac. Okay. He probably got his SAG card from this movie. So anyway, um, so they go in there and they're having a good time and whatnot, and Seymour's dancing with Charlotte, but then he's dodging her at the same time, and he ends up going to the bar, and people that are not paying attention to their drink,
so mean to her.
yeah, right. And so, like, while he's at the bar, people that are not paying attention to their drinks, he's picking up their drinks and drinking it. And he's starting to get drunk. And he's talking to himself, like, I can't believe it. I let him scheme me. But I'm going to go on ahead and take one for the team. Just basically is what he's trying to,
Right.
hype himself up to do. Excuse me. Which he got drunk enough for it. And, and so, like, Charlotte ends up finding him and comes over to him, and by that time he's tipsy, but he ain't drunk yet, so he ends up just downing the rest of the drink, and then they start having a good old time, and they end up going home together. And so when he wakes up in the morning, he looks over, and she is right there next to him with the biggest smile on her face while she's still sleeping. And he's like, I need to get this person up out of here.
He's freaking out.
Yeah. And so he hears a fire truck. So when he hears the fire truck, he's like, that's what I'm going to do. Fire, fire, fire. So she jumps up and she's gathering her things. He's gathering her things for her. And so then while he's all in a frantic trying to get her up out of there, she's like, okay, there's no smoke. I don't smell anything. What about you? And he's just like, I'll see you later. I'll be okay. Like, and so he pushes her out, closes the door. When that happens, that's when she's like, okay, you did this to get me out and you're wrong. I still need to get home. Like, so then he's like, he goes through Johnny's jacket. He gets out $2. He pushes it up under the door and was like, catch the train. And she's like, this is some bull. So yeah. So that's how he got rid of Charlotte. Marlon says, I saw this movie at the $1.50 movie theater. Fun facts. Kadeem Hardison was supposed to play Seymour. Damon's mom suggested that he cast Marlon for the role. Yeah, that is true. And Damon did not want to do it.
Really?
Yeah, Damon did not want to do it at all.
I wonder why.
Because Kadeem Hardison was a big name back then.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he didn't want to do it. So so that's how he pushes Charlotte out. And so Then Seymour realizes when he pulled out the money, he also pulled out a credit card. And so he's like, oh, look what we have here.
Mhm.
So Seymour takes the card, goes to the jewelry store in the mall. The card gets declined.
The card don't just get declined. There's a little message saying,
Yeah.
to
Security alert.
stolen credit card thing, and to secure the person who swiped it or whatever, to security get there. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that came across that machine. And so Seymour realizes it, of course. So he takes a display and he throws it through the glass and he escapes that way. And so he's running away from the security. And then there's security coming the other way. He doesn't realize that the security is coming the other way. So he's thinking he's getting away. As soon as he turns around, he gets socked in the face.
Yep.
And so they ended up taking him to the precinct. And so he's in a room. And he's in a room from at the jail. And there's a cop, and then there's a person from the credit card company there, and they're interrogating him to try to get him to tell on whoever he is working with. And of course, he's not trying to tell. Of course, he's not going to rat his brother out, but he knows a bit too much. So that was Johnny's fault, I feel. But he knows a bit too much about what's going on. So he gives a name. So he ends up meeting up with the guy, but he's wearing a wire. And the guy, the name that he gives was Keith. And so he meets up with Keith. Keith obviously knows that he's running a scheme.
Yeah. So he's like presenting him with this thing that's too good to be true.
Right. It's way too good to be true. And it just it's a bit far-fetched.
Yeah.
And how do you know this person? You know, right. It's supposed to be a travel agent that wants to pay him top dollar. And yeah, so he you know, picks up on the scheme from the beginning, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, blah blah blah. And so Seymour is really like, dude, you know what I'm talking about. Just go ahead and make the deal. It's a great deal for everybody, and blah, blah, blah. So then he grabs him, and then he opens up his shirt, sees the wire right there, ends up taking him with him. And now they're going to go get Johnny because they feel like Johnny is in on it. So they go to Seymour and Johnny's apartment, and they ransack the apartment looking for Johnny. Johnny is not there, but Johnny is on his way home. And when he's walking on the street, he looks up at his window and he sees people in there. So he's like, yeah, no, I'm not going in there. So then he ends up running away, and they see that nobody is there. And so they end up leaving the apartment. They still got Seymour with them, and they end up going to the business, to the credit card business. Johnny is running away from them, but he's running to Amber's house. And when he ran to Amber's house, he's letting Amber know what's going on and how they got Seymour. I don't know how he put two and two together, but sure. So yeah, he tells Amber this or whatnot, and he's just like, I gotta get my brother. And he doesn't want Amber's help, but that was the first place that he ran to tell what was going on. But she's just like, no, I'm gonna help you, blah, blah, blah. So they end up going to the business. And so they go to the business, and
she's like, I can get in the system and pull like the records for the cards.
Yes. And so when they go to the business to do that, that's when they see that they're not the only people that's there. And Keith is there. Keith brought Seymour with him, and Keith has his goons there as well. So that when they realize that they're there or whatnot, now they got to run. So they go and hide. Amber's still like, I want to help him. And he's like, no, get out of here. But
Yeah, she's trying to get in the system and she couldn't.
Yeah.
They changed the access code.
Right. They changed the access code. And so with them there and whatnot, it ends up being like a whole shootout because Johnny created a diversion to get up out of there. So he like put his jacket on a cart and pushed it down the hallway, and they see it through the windows and they just shoot up the place.
This is like the longest, craziest third act
Yeah.
for a movie about scammers ever. Like this is just like way over the top action film.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like they just wanted to put a bunch of action in it.
Because we go from gunfight to car and train chase to fighting in a dust mill or something. I don't.
Yeah, like that part was crazy because it was like, how do we even get here? You know, but it was like we wanted to add it because it was a cool scene. It was a cool idea. So yeah, so like Maria said, we go through all of these like things and stuff like that we end up getting to a salt mill, and they're going up this conveyor belt and they're fighting up the conveyor belt, but Keith is on top of Johnny fighting, trying to kill him, realizing that he's getting to the end, but not realizing that Johnny didn't put a cord around his neck. And he's so fixated on trying to kill Johnny that he doesn't realize a cord is around his neck. So, yeah, so on the conveyor belt, when he gets to the end, Johnny falls down into the salt, and Keith doesn't. Keith hangs. So Keith is dead now, and Johnny is laying in a pile of salt. So yeah, that was pretty much the end. And yeah, that is Mo Money. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Mo Money?
Lesson is don't do crime.
Yes. But I feel like you knew that going in, not to do crime.
You know? But I mean, they showed nothing went well.
No. It was fun while it lasted, but it only lasted for so long.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just I was like, there's that last action sequence is just so there were some cool things in them, but also like, why is this happening? Like,
yeah, especially like when you look at Damon Wayans' career, you can tell that yes, he's a comedian by nature, but he really wanted to be an action star.
Yeah, I was like, does he want to be an action star?
Yeah, like when you really look at like the stuff that he's done, he wanted to be an action star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it just seemed like a very strange turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. But we have Kim watching. She says, not home, my phone is dying, LOL. But hey, thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you, Kim.
Yeah. So yeah, we so we have Mo Money. So do you have any other thoughts besides don't do crime?
Right. No, it was enjoyable. Like definitely worth the $3.99 for the rental.
Yeah.
Definitely did feel like kind of like some skits kind of strung together a little bit. But we don't have movies like this anymore, like kind of like middle budget, emerging comedy kind of things, where you find new artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to see more movies like that.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it was a cute movie, back then, and entertaining as well. And then it also is now. Definitely it was an enjoyable watch, even though you still have the silly stuff.
And there are some things that did not age well.
Yeah, yeah, that as well. But um, you know, if you were an In Living Color fan, there was a lot of things that stood out back then that was like, oh, that's dope. They put that in here. That's dope. You know, because
Yeah.
I think this was probably like one of the first movies from In Living Color that they used In Living Color skits and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So yeah, so it was like a big deal
Yeah.
because you know, In Living Color was humongous,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah. 92 would have been right near the beginning. So yeah.
yeah, so it was really dope to see back then and then to like point out certain things.
Mhm.
And then now watching it is like nostalgic,
Yeah.
you know, because still being a big and living color fan, you're definitely like going to see the skits and they're gonna point out or they're gonna stand out.
Yeah.
You
For sure.
know? And it's just cool that they like something that was so dope because that was a term that people used after seeing it on In Living Color, Mo Money.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was a term. So it's just dope to see them take that term and turn it into a whole movie
Yeah.
with a story, you know, because like that story wasn't part of the skit.
No.
You know what I'm
Not at
saying?
all.
Yeah, like we said earlier, like there what was part of the skit was it was the Homeboy Shopping Network,
Hmm.
you know. So yeah. Um yeah, it was pretty dope just all the way around. Um just to see and then on top of that, you know, to see our people, you know, doing a full feature.
Yeah.
Had a dope soundtrack. Like
Yeah.
you could not escape that I Adore You song. You could not
The song
escape
with
that.
Luther Vandross.
Yeah. The best things in life for free. And then they had Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis doing the soundtrack too. So
Yes. Hmm.
and then the Ralph Tresvant song, you know. So um yeah. And that's when you know soundtracks were about as big as the movies.
Yes.
So
Yeah. In the
yeah.
90s, you really, if you had a good soundtrack, oh man.
Yeah. Right. You can't beat a good soundtrack. So
No.
do you think that they could redo this movie for today?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I mean, especially people love scammers and like scam stories and stuff like that. And I think that's always great for comedy. So I
Yeah.
definitely think it could. I would hope it would have more of a like a traditional kind of story where like somebody learns a lesson or something changes or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously innocent of just kind of like ending the way that it did. But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I absolutely think you could do that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think the same thing too. Like, and I think for the same reasons, because for whatever reason we do love the scammer story.
Yeah, you do.
So yeah. So I think that that would be a dope if they could redo it again in 2025.
Hmm.
Um, and maybe have Damon Wayans Jr.
Oh yeah.
You know, so and maybe have Shantae Wayans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have Shantae Wayans play the Seymour character.
Brother sister duo.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
So, but it's just so funny because like one of the promos for Mo Money,
Mhm.
I was like, damn, Damon Wayans Jr. looked just like his daddy. Like, golly,
Yes.
he couldn't deny him if he wanted to.
No, absolutely not.
So yeah. But yeah, so we have our rating system.
Mm.
We have one movie real trash AF, two it exists, three entertaining, four great, five a true classic. Maria, what say you?
I give it a 3.
Three?
It's entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Low
Um,
frequency.
yeah. Yeah. I would say 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for the same reasons that we just discussed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I would love to see them revisit
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Be really cool. You know, new scams and new technologies and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm. Yep, have a whole operation going.
yeah,
So, Maria, what are we watching next time?
we are watching Coraline.
Coraline.
Mhm.
Okay.
It is on Tubi and another Fubi, Freebie. I don't know. Another one of those apps,
Tubi
but
works.
it's available there.
Yeah, Tubi
Um,
works.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I remember when this came out, but I never got to see it.
Mhm.
And when it came out, it was in 3D.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Yep.
has some good moments for 3D.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm excited to see Coraline.
It's a nice little spooky movie.
Yeah. I wanted to see it. I just never got around to it.
All right.
So,
Well, now
so
we can
yeah.
Halloween season.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me online, primarily on Blue Sky or Instagram at Valor More Dollars. That's VALARMOR Dollars. I also have another podcast with some other friends called Nerdgasm Noir. So you can find us there as well. And where can they find you, Lindsay?
I am everywhere at L_Renelle. That's L_RANELLE. And also on my other podcast, the Ish We Talk. And that's where me and my cousin, we go over a variety of topics.
Hot topics.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right.
All right. So yes, this was episode 83 of Roomies Review the Movies, and we will see you guys for episode 84.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.